Hi, my name is Lorena Saedi. I am the founder and managing attorney here at Saedi Law Group. And I wanted to do a video today about something that it's become a much different issue in the past couple of years than it was before, which is how fast can you get a car back after it's been repossessed? So, I've been doing bankruptcy for 22 years. I am a dinosaur. I've been doing this a long, long time. And in the course of my bankruptcy career, I have seen a lot of changes in how repossessed cars are handled. So up until a few years ago, if you filed a bankruptcy, most of the time you could get a repossessed car back, quickly. And when I say quickly, like maybe it took a day or two, which in my book, that's pretty quick. Now, there has been some developments in case law that has muddied the water. There is a Supreme Court case that has muddied the water. Now, of course, in my opinion, and I have filed motions and complaints and asked for sanctions against creditors here in the Northern District of Georgia, is that it doesn't apply to, it was very specific to that situation. It doesn't apply to our every run-of-the-mill repossessions that we deal with here in Georgia. So that's the whole point of being an attorney. We can find the gray areas and we can argue, and I can argue all day long. It's what I do. It's what I like to do. My husband's not really happy about that, but that's okay. But anyway, I digress. But what's happened is you have creditors now that will try to use this as a stalling technique to not return vehicles. And it's a pain in the butt and yada, 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 but it is the landscape that we are dealing with now. So I wanted to do a video so that you understand that if you let your car get repossessed, and yes, you know, if your car got repossessed, it was because you weren't paying. So this should not be a big surprise. I'll have clients call me like, well, I only missed 3 months. Seriously? Really? And you are surprised that they picked up your car? Please give me a break. Of course they're going to pick up your car. You didn't pay for it. So if you have let your situation get to the point where they have picked up your car, here's what's going to happen. So number one, if you do not immediately turn around and either pay them whatever you're behind on, right? Like whatever you owe, if they'll let you do that. Because a lot of times once your car gets picked up, they accelerate the balance. Most of the time, that's what they do. So they accelerate your balance and they're like, yeah, you got to pay us the whole thing, which most people are like, yeah, I don't have $30,000 in my bank account. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gotten repossessed. So if you don't file bankruptcy quickly, then what's going to happen is the car creditor is going to take that car and they could ship it off to an auction. And they can do that. They are totally within their right to do that. And when I say ship it off, I mean, this car could go to Detroit, it could go to Boston, it could go to Florida, it could go to Texas. So your car gets shipped off to auction. So even if you file bankruptcy, you're not going to force them to hire a private 18-wheeler or car transport or whatever they call it to go fetch your car and bring it back. Your car will come back when the next truck comes, for their company, because they take cars back and forth. But it's unreasonable for you to try to make an argument. Oh, you should give me that car right back. No. I mean that now yes, it shouldn't take them more than I would say a week or two if your car got shipped off to an auction. But guess what? You are going to also have to pay for the fee for that car to come back. So don't get all annoyed. You're the one that let your car get repossessed, and these are the consequences. So I need for folks to understand this, because I'll have people start getting real nasty attitudes about the car lenders. And trust me, I'm a debtor's attorney. I represent folks that are in debt. You're my client, but I also have to bring clients into reality. And bankruptcy law bankruptcy court is a court of equity. Has to be fair, okay? Equitable to both parties. So what's going to happen is if your car got shipped off because you waited a long time, I've had people call me and I'll be like, okay, your car got repossessed, thinking they're going to tell me it's been 3 days ago. Usually it's my car got repossessed this morning. Some people, got repossessed last month, but I know they still have it. Okay, that's cool if they still have it. It has probably been shipped off to auction. And eventually we can get the car back, but you're not getting that car back tomorrow. You're not getting that car back probably in a week. So you need to set your expectations accordingly. And again, that's all on you. It's when you file. It's when you decide to take action. So we can only deal with the situation as it comes due. Another thing, let me talk to you, really, really important, insurance. I have never seen lately so many folks that just let their insurance lapse. No insurance. And so their car gets picked up and they want their car back and they have no insurance. Well, that's a problem. And here's another problem. You know what happens? A lot of insurance companies, they want you to take pictures of the car and send to them before they will insure it, which is understandable. But you don't have the car because the car got repoed. So now you're going to have your attorney try to get with the car company's attorney to have somebody at the car company go out and take pictures for you because you let the insurance lapse. Now we have a circus. And I mean, that's a circus. And on a couple of occasions, I've had to do it. And I will tell you this right now. My firm's policy is I don't file a case. If you had your car picked up and you can't get insurance on it before we refile your case, if you did let it lapse, we're not going to file your case because you're going to cause all of us to spin our wheels, or I'm going to charge you a very large fee up front because you're going to cost us so much time and frustration over that issue right there. So and I know a lot of attorneys that have that same policy. It's like, yeah, we don't have time to be chasing the car creditor's attorney, which you know how fun it is to get another attorney sometimes to call you back when they have 1,000 repo files. Yeah, that's not going to be quick. And a lot of times what happens is in those situations, we have to file a motion in our court to compel them to do something. And then the judge has to hear it. I mean, you are talking about a lot of extra legal work, a lot of extra legal time, all because you didn't have insurance on your car. So just heads up, if your car gets repoed, you better have insurance on it if you want to get it back. And you better have that in place before you file a bankruptcy. Because like I said, a lot of bankruptcy attorneys are going to say no. Say, no, if you don't have insurance on it, we can't help you. Because we all know the circus that's going to come from this kind of situation. So, but let's just say none of those apply to you. You had insurance on the car. You just got behind on your payments. And there are a couple of there are some car creditors that will just pop a car after like 1 month. Okay? If you're a day late, by the way, on a car payment, they can pick up your car. You're in default. So they can legally do it. But most don't. But if your car gets picked up, let's say you call, the next day and you're like, oh, my car got picked up. Okay, cool. Let's get your case filed as soon as possible. Oh, and that's the other thing. Folks will say, okay, well, how fast can you file my case? Hell, I don't know. How fast can you get me everything that I need? Because this is on you, not me. I mean, I can file a case in 30 minutes if I needed to. I don't like to have to file a case in 30 minutes if I need to, but I can do it. I need you to get all the stuff to me. I need your pay stubs. I need your license. I need proof of insurance. I need a copy of your tax return, and I need you to fill out the intake form. I can't tell you how many people will pay, sign up, and then I'm like, okay, I need your credit counseling. I need it. And it's like pulling teeth. And I'm like, okay, well, I have a car to drive to work. I'm not the one that's freaking out about their car repo. So if you don't want to do what you're supposed to do, not on me. Don't complain to me. So once you sign up, say you're good. I'm sure you're good. You're going to do everything you're supposed to. We get your case filed. We get a case number. First thing that we're going to do, we're going to reach out to your car creditor. Oh, and by the way, sometimes my clients, bless their heart, I know they're trying to be helpful. They'll be like, okay, here's the number to the car lot. This is where they're holding it. I don't really care. I'm not going to talk to the car lot ever. I'm talking to the creditor that commanded that your car get picked up. The car lot people aren't going to do diddly until the car creditor sends them what is called a release that says they can release the car to you. And that's the magic document. Now, every car creditor is different. So typically what will happen is your case is filed, we get a case number. First thing my office is going to do is they're going to reach out to the creditor and say, here's their filing information, and that's your case number. We send them a copy of the order from the bankruptcy court that shows that you are in a case. We show them your driver's license and proof of insurance. because nobody is going to lift a finger without those items. So if you are slack on getting us anything, we can't move. So just know that. So we get all these over to them, to the creditor, and then the creditor will typically the creditor will then say, okay, we're gonna issue the release. They will tell my office, contact your person, tell them they can go to blah, blah, blah. Sometimes it's like an auction. It might be Mannheim. That's a popular one. Or they might just say, here's the name and address and phone number of the auction, or the car lot. They can go and get their car. Cool. Okay. So that's the best case scenario. And typically that does not take more than 3 business days. Business days. So if you file your case on Friday, you are not getting your car back on Monday. The clock will start ticking probably on Monday when the folks that took off early from their office on Friday look at their emails and faxes. And that is the way of the world, folks. Nothing I can do about that. So, oh, and by the way, sometimes clients will argue with me and like, well, I know that they're open. They call me on Saturday. They call me on Sunday. That's nice. Their lawyers are not there. They're legal folks. They don't work on Saturdays and Sundays. I promise, they're not there. So just be aware, these are business days. Now, if your car has been picked up before, and that happens, there's been multiple repossession issues with the car, or you've been in other bankruptcy cases, the creditor may file a motion for relief from stay and ask the court to deny your ability to get the car back. And guess what? If they do that, then we have to deal with it. And we will have to go in front of the judge and convince the judge why you should be given another chance to keep your car. And again, this is what we deal with. Typically, the only time creditors are going to file motions like this is if it's a bad situation. What's a bad situation? Well, let's see. One of those things is you've had multiple repossessions. Another one might be you just bought the car 2 months ago. Yeah, that's not a good look. So there's a lot of factors that may play into that. So no bankruptcy attorney can promise you I'm going to have your car back the next day, because it depends. It depends on lots of different factors. For the average person that just got behind, most of my clients, they've been paying on their car for a year or two, right? And something happened and they got behind. That's what happened. Totally normal, totally understandable. We file it, we get their car back within 3 days. No problem. But if you have some drama behind it, if there's issues, it could take a minute. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to talk about insurance one more time. The insurance policy needs to be in your name, because we are going to get pushback. You are going to get pushback if you don't have an insurance policy with your name on it. And your name needs to be on the insurance policy. Also, they need to be listed as a lost payee. I mean, it's like little things like this that can hold up you getting your car back. So if you've had a car repossession, for most folks, yes, we will be able to get your car back relatively quickly. I think 3 business days is relatively quickly. But, I just want to set those expectations, because sometimes people, I could tell them 20 times, like, hey, look, it's going to take this. I'll file their case at 9 o'clock at night. The next morning, did you get my car back? Hey, did you hear about my car? No, I haven't. And I told you. We will call you and tell you. We will tell you. We're not going to forget about you. You're a priority. I mean, repossessions are a priority, of course, but there's a process. So put that in your head. You're going to be using Uber for a minute, and I know it sucks, and I know it costs money, but again, your car got repossessed because you didn't make your car payment, and it is what it is. We can help you get it back. We can restructure the loan in your Chapter 13 bankruptcy. We may be able to even cram down the value of the car. We can certainly usually cram down the value of the interest rate. So we can do great things with the car loan, but it's going to take a minute to get everything back on track. So know that, understand it, and you'll be okay. And again, for most people, it's, probably you're looking at about 3 business days. That's a reasonable expectation, unless you've had some drama with your car in the past. My name is Lorena Saedi. I am the managing attorney over here. So if you have any questions about bankruptcy or repossession, at least here in the Northern District of Georgia, feel free to reach out, and I'm happy to review.